Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Church and State. Can I get a honk? No, that doesn't sound. Horn, that's what it is. Horn, not a honk. Horn. Can I get a horn? No. Hey, everybody, welcome back to Church and State. Super exciting episode today. All about Justin Trudeau and the truckers and the face-off.
Let's get ready to rumble!
If you've been living under a rock, you don't know about what's happening in Canada. If you want to find out what's happening, you should check out what King Nub did yesterday on Red Liberty Media. Great video. But basically, Trudeau wants everybody to get vaccinated, and he said there's going to be consequences if you don't. There'll be taxes, you won't be able to go to your job, can't go to the supermarket, stuff like that. Well, the truckers said, nope, we're not doing it. And a lot of other people, a lot of citizens did that with them. They said, hey, Mr. Trudeau, we are not your subjects. We're not your serfs. We're not your servants. We are citizens. And citizens comes from a Greek term which means co-ruler. We are your co-rulers in this nation. You don't get to reign over us like a tyrant. So these truckers decided, we're going to go as slow as we want, and we're going to truck all the way down to Ottawa, which is the capital of Canada, where Trudeau lives. And now these truckers are very important. They run the country. Let me tell you what I mean. They run the country in the sense that they deliver the food, they deliver the supplies, and without them, you don't have a nation. And they know that. And so they said, we're going to be on strike until Trudeau lifts the mandates. As fate would have it, Justin Trudeau, caught COVID. And he tested positive. Poor man. I hope he's okay. He's fine. Look at what he says here.
And this morning, I learned I tested positive for COVID-19 as well. I feel well and have no symptoms. I feel well and have no symptoms.
I feel well and have no symptoms.
He has COVID, but no symptoms. Right when the truckers come into the Capitol. You don't find that suspicious? Kind of like perfect timing. Like maybe you're trying to hide from them because he's perfectly fine to make a press conference like he did the other day.
Is there a reason that you can give as for why you will not discuss or have any negotiations with this particular group?
I have attended protests and rallies in the past when I agreed with the goal. Black Lives Matter is an excellent example of that. Black Lives Matter is an excellent example of that. But I have also chosen to not go anywhere near protests that have expressed hateful rhetoric, violence towards fellow citizens, and a disrespect not just of science, but of the frontline health workers and, quite frankly, the 90% of truckers who have been doing the right thing to keep Canadians safe, to put food on our tables. Canadians know where I stand. This is a moment for responsible leaders to think carefully about where they stand and who they stand with.
Hear that rhetoric? Calls them white supremacists and racist and homophobic. That's funny, Mr. Trudeau. I thought people could do whatever they want with their bodies.
Is a country of openness, of respect, of compassion, of the rule of law, of the rights of the individuals, of freedom. Freedom from fear, freedom to do what you want with your body, freedom to do what you want with your body.
I thought people who wore blackface shouldn't call other people racist. No, just like most tyrants, Justin Trudeau has a very short memory. And in fact, he's actually a dangerous man. And here's why. He's not dumb. He's very smart, very well educated. He knows what he's doing. He knows exactly the type of victims and the type of scapegoats he wants to paint in the media. He wants to paint everybody who's vaccinated as a victim of the oppression of these truckers.
The small fringe minority
of truckers so that he can maintain his control over Canada. God bless these truckers because they're saying, guess what? You don't run the show. We run the show. We're going to stand up for liberty, justice, and now what's even more exciting, they're talking about doing it here. God bless these truckers, man. Reminds me of a Bible verse because people don't think of trucking as an important job, which it is. But it says that God uses the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. And that's exactly what we see here. God uses the foolish, the small fringe minority that Justin Trudeau says, to shame the wise. The wise being Justin Trudeau. God always has the last laugh. And truth and liberty will always prevail. And I support these truckers 100%. Oh, hey. Real quick, if you would like to support this content, the videos that we do, the articles, and the website, everything that we're doing with Red Liberty Media, help us grow. Become a Patreon subscriber today. The link right here will help you do that. Just click that, and it'll also be in the description box below this video. Anyways, back to our scheduled program. Now, what's great is when they got to Ottawa, they have enough supplies for about 2 to 3 years. Enough funds, and people are giving them food. It's great. Well, when they got to Ottawa, the police were called. Police called the towing company to have them tow all the trucks. Well, the towing company stood strong and said, sorry, we have COVID, which is fantastic. You should use that all the time as an excuse to fight tyranny. Sorry, we can't. We have COVID. I love it. It's fantastic. I think our police here should do that. I think our firemen here should do that as well when they're called to do something unjust by our leaders like that, to act as a Gestapo. They also had a GoFundMe account where they raised over about $3 million. GoFundMe shut them down. Now they have the support of Elon Musk, and Elon Musk bought a website domain called liar.com, and if you click on it, it goes right to Justin Trudeau's wiki page, which is savage on so many levels. Now, not everybody in Canada has lost their minds. Check out what this lady says.
That minister is misleading Canadians. I do get very defensive of Canadians who are outside today, patriotic, peace-loving Canadians who are called misogynist and racist by the Prime Minister.
Blackface.
So again, I will ask the Prime Minister, who, may I remind this House, wore blackface on more times than he can remember, apologize to the peace-loving, patriotic Canadians who are outside right now just asking to be heard. Will he speak to them?
Now, why is this important to church and state? As I said before, they are not the serfs, we are not their servants, and we are not their subjects. We are citizens. Citizens meaning co-owner, co-ruler, and that's how we rule this nation. We, the people, are the authority in this land, and Canada's getting a little taste of that right now. But what do you do with tyranny? What do you do when the laws become so unjust that they take away life, liberty, and justice? When they assert their own justice and they assert their own way of freedom and liberty, when they say you have to give up your freedoms for security and that your freedoms are selfish. Our founding father, Ben Franklin, has some good advice. Ben Franklin says, rebellion to tyrants is obedience to God. And I couldn't agree more. The rebellion with the tyrants doesn't mean you can just act and go do whatever you want. It's civil disobedience. It's saying no to the bully. This is where it stops. I will act in self-defense if I need to, but this is where it stops. You're not going to go any farther than this. And we need to be the same way. So, God bless these truckers putting everything on the line. Another cool thing to point out about these truckers, there's strength in numbers. There's a lot of them. Sometimes you can feel like maybe the way you believe about things may be a minority. I beg to differ. I think there's actually the majority of people who are decent enough to say no to these mandates and masks and everything else that goes with it. And our founding fathers did a great example with the American Revolution. They were up against the government, kind of like the one that Tredeaus has in Canada. One of tyranny, one where they cannot communicate with their king because he didn't want to listen. He imposed strict laws, ruined their lives, and they civilly disobeyed. And every man has that right. And you have that right as well, because our rights come from God and not government. The tide's changing, folks. We the people, the authority in this land, hold the power. That power is given to us by God. And we can only hope to preserve liberty as far as we are connected to the source of that liberty. And I believe that source is Jesus Christ. And our founders believed that was Jesus Christ as well. They also believed that Christianity was the only true and perfect religion, and that as far as men adopt its principles and obey its precepts, they will be healthy, wise, and happy. That's according to Benjamin Rush right there. He also said that the Bible is the best book to know about Christianity, and no other book can suit you for that. That's from Benjamin Rush. So, I encourage you, you love liberty, great. Get to know its source. You'll love it even more. And God bless these truckers. They are doing amazing things. Well, guys, thanks for watching. I'm Timothy Johnson for Red Liberty Media.